podcast. I am Anthony, your host. Got back from a camping trip just yesterday. It was a camping trip I've done probably every year since the kids were born. Oh, they were about one when we first took them. And we've gone with a group of friends that I've gone to high school with. And we just got back yesterday from Paradise Valley Campground, just near Glen Maggie. We went there a couple of days. Some of my friends stayed a bit longer. And it was an awesome trip. Seeing them, we haven't been camping for a year. It's been a bit of a pretty big year with school and everything else going on in life. And yeah, we implemented this trip and we went and it was great. The kids had a really good time. There was about 18 to 20 kids and 15 adults. It was right near a river. We got to flow down the river on floaties and inflatable boats and unicorns and koalas. And it got hot one day and then woke up in the morning on Sunday. It bucketed down. It was a bit stormy, but we just made it work. And yeah, it was great. But there was a lot I learnt on this trip. I guess doing these podcasts and what I thought was right or wrong. There's no really right and wrong when you go camping with your family or camping with a group. But there is something outtakes I took from this trip that I thought would be good for my viewers. And we'll get up to that part. But first of all, the brand new 250 Prado's out and it looks sick, but I do not think I would get one right now. Not the first model. It's a little bit disappointing, some of the things they have in it and some of the things that are really, really good in it. Like the Altitude model has everything you need and you can get a two-tone with sandy taupe or bronze grey, sandy bronze. And it has like a two-tone roof, has diff locks, it has everything, and it's a 5-seater instead of a 7-seater, so you could tour it into a badass tourer, which is something I would do, but I'd probably wait till the next model that comes out to see what they do with the engine. I'm more keen on that Lexus 550 which is the Lexus equivalent of the Prado. It's got a twin turbo V6. That thing looks sick, but aftermarket service on a Lexus, I don't know. I think that's a lot of money for a four-wheel drive. I just think it's crazy. But people out there in the market buying it, like I don't know, people keep buying Rangers, Hiluxes, D-Maxes, and whatnot. So there's money to be spent out there, but people are making money, so good on them. But for me personally, I'm going to keep my car. I've got a company car, so my car's a weekender, and it's set up to go touring. It's set up to go away, and did a great job. That K-On shelf I had above to put all the pillows and ornament stuff that you can get out straight away without being squished in the back with everything else was amazing. That was probably the best thing I've put in that car, that shelf. Go and get it. Go to K-On and look it up. It's for the back of the boot. I'll put a photo of it up soon. But yeah, a great buy. It stored everything. It didn't squish everything, and it was easy access to things that we use like first aid kits, towels, toilet roll, baby wipes, the lot. So that was really, really good. So things like that to do in a new car, I'm going to spend the money all over again to buy a new car and put the same things in. So I'm keeping my car. Toyed the idea of doing it, but it's just not worth it. So if you had to spend 90 grand, maybe, but yeah, no, not paying interest on a 90 grand loan. Screw that. I'd rather keep the car I got. And a bit of a rant I had. I was listening to a podcast and they were sponsored by eBay. And the person on the podcast was actually narrating the commercial for eBay, saying buy four-wheel drive parts, this, that. You can find everything on eBay, money-back guarantees, so on and so forth. People that use eBay know it's good. But the funny thing is, on one of the episodes, they were bagging out eBay going, who would buy from eBay? I've never used it. I wouldn't trust it. This, that. And it was the same person that did the commercials. So, yeah, bit of a sellout moment. But I guess YouTube is full of that again. If someone's willing to pay, someone's willing to put free shit on a car for someone, they're willing to spruik it like it's the best game-changing mod you can do to a car. But then the next brand will come along and offer more money after that contract's ended, and they're spruiking something else. So that's why I'm not really sponsored. And if I was going to be sponsored, I'd be sponsored by someone that I actually believe in the brand. Like I've mentioned, I put K-On my car. I love that brand. I've worked for Boss Aluminium, and they make great products. I'd stand by what they do, and they do a good job. other brands I've used in my car, ARB. I like ARB products. I've got a bull bar on it, and they've been designing and making bull bars for the start of time, for the start of the whole four-wheel drive journey in Australia, pretty much. So, their brands, other brands that have come out with bull bars. There's thousands of brands of bull bars, but 10 years ago, there's probably one or two. So, everyone is coming in innovative. It's great because there's so many different looking cars on the road. There's different products on the road. There's different affordable ways to do things where you're buying a King's awning or solar panel, which is actually not that bad, to, buying a Bush Company 270 awning. It's going to set you back, but, it's your money. It's your way to spend it. So spend it how you shall, but do your research. I'm looking at 270 awning at the moment, and there's three brands: Bushwhacker, Dashi, and I forgot the other one. The Ocam brand, and they're around the similar price point. They've got all similar different features and stuff, but it just comes down to how easy is it to set up, how much shade does it do, cover, and what's the aftermarket service on it. Especially also how easy to set up without poles. Where say you're going to the beach or going away for having pull over for a lunch. That's my main purpose I want to use it for, as well as overnight trips and having general shade. It would have definitely helped this weekend when I had the car set up next to the gazebo. Have that a bit extra constant shade whilst I was, getting stuff in and out of the car. Shade for the fridge. It wouldn't have got so warm and had to use so much power, even though I had the solar panel powering it most of the time and feeding the new battery I put in, which worked out really well. So, doing my research at the moment. There's a few specials on at the moment, but will I buy it? I don't know. I had one before. It took forever to set up, but it was like off a Patriot camper for $200. It was good for what it was. It was a novelty at the time, but I flogged it off on Marketplace recently, a few months ago, and made my money back and some. And moving forward, I'll find something that's best suited for myself. So, yeah, that's my bit of a rant. That's my bit of what I'm doing at the moment with the vehicle. But back to my trip. So, 5 things I took away from this trip that I learnt about the kids, but also learnt what to do with the kids from other people. It was quite interesting, and I want to share some of those things and some of the insights that I had from my kids. Insights I had from watching other people's kids, and insights that I had what other people do to sort of chill out. So, going camping, kids are up at 5:30 in the morning to go to the toilet, and they're excited to see their friends in the day. Well, there's friends that you hang out with, and they were planning their day, planning breakfasts, planning what activities to do in the water, and yeah, it can go from 6 o'clock in the morning to about 7, 8 o'clock at night. In our case, they went to bed pretty early because they were just completely stuffed on the second night. The first night was, they're excited. We did the marshmallows with the fire. We did heaps of different things. And yeah, the second night, they were just running ragged outside, having a good time. We didn't do it with fire. The second night was 32 degrees during the day and quite windy. We just thought we'd call it because everyone was so tired. So we went to bed. Oh, the kids went to bed, and the adults sort of just sat around, had a chinwag for a bit, and then went to bed. So, yeah, the 5 things I learned is, learning how to chill out for a couple of hours during the day because, it's quite overwhelming. 2 7-year-olds camping can get quite overwhelming during the day. Like, they want to keep going, but they need the rest. So you got to find things to do in the rest. And obviously you don't want to, I don't want to put them on an iPad and watch a movie or something, or we did some drawing, we read some books. But one thing I learned from some of my friends is they actually loaded up audiobooks on their phone via Spotify, Audible, wherever you may find it, and played it. So we had no reception, so I couldn't actually initiate that idea from the get-go. But next time, I'm going to actually load up some audiobooks. Like on the way up, we listen to, my kids into Transformers, we listen to Linkin Park. The other one loves Smurfs, so we listen to the Smurfs. And I can tell you now, I hate listening to Smurfs, but I love Linkin Park, so I'm happy about that one. On the way home, we actually listened to Charlie and Chocolate Factory, and it was a 2.5-hour drive. We made it about 3 hours by the time we stopped, and we actually drove around a bit longer because we really wanted to finish the book. So the book being narrated, Charlie and Chocolate Factory, by Rod Dale. They were engaged the whole time. They both had a bit of a snooze in the car, but I actually got engaged with it too, and asking questions about the book and what they thought of different things of it, even rewinding it to recapture a couple of moments of it, and it was much better than fighting over music or play one track after the other. Like there's only so much you can put on a playlist, and definitely next time I go away, I am going to load up a couple of audiobooks on my phone if we don't have reception, or have it pre-downloaded, ready to go, so they can just put the head down on the pillow, and stare up in the abyss and the shade, and listen to it. That was a really good idea. So if your kids have got a book they love, you can upload it on your phone and just play it out on speaker, play it on your phone. Make sure it's charged if you've got charging facilities. But it was much better than just numbing them out on an iPad or playing games, which they can do at home, which they don't really do at here. But that was just one thing I took from that. That was really good to watch, just to actually chill out and sort of get engaged with it. But just thinking about doing other things, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. Number 2 was we were at a river, and we were using floating devices, from floating unicorns for Carla. Marka had a shark. Everybody brought some of those boats from Kmart or Anaconda, and various different floating donuts with koalas and whatnot. It take a lot to blow up. I mean, like, last year I remember blowing up with my mouth, and I literally went blue and dizzy after blowing up a whole boat. And this year I brought my air compressor that I used to pump up my tires after I deflated them, and I put an attachment on it that you can put in floating toys, and that saved my life. So just turned the car on, plugged it on, and just turned it on straight away. It's just a King's Thumper, but it did the job, and it was great. Everything got blown up in about 5 minutes. Had to give the compressor a little bit of a break because it was going for a while, but it did the job perfectly. Saved so much time and heartache of pumping it up at a 30-degree heat using your mouth or using a hand pump. And most people have them, or you can buy them pretty cheap. So if you're a four-wheel driver and you got to do that and blow up some toys like that, that's the best contraption to have in the car to do so. Or if you're going to do it, invest a little bit of extra money. If you're going to keep doing it over the years, it'll be a good investment moving forward. Even the Ryobis have an attachment you can put to your battery to do that as well. It just saved a lot of time. Kids are antsy to go in the water. They're really excited. So that definitely helped shred some time, conserve some energy that you require to get through the day. And that definitely helps us have more fun. Number 3, if you're going along a river and there's pebbles in the river or rocks and whatnot, I went to BCF a couple of weeks prior and bought aqua shoes. So they're just sort of like a wetsuit shoe with a bit of a sole on it. And last year, walking in sandals or thongs in the water, happened to lose one, and my mates retrieved it, framed it, and sent it to me because after I cracked the shits and threw the other one away, still hanging up in my kid's room. Having those aqua shoes saved my kids' feet not getting injured, not getting hurt. They walked on it, practically ran along the riverbeds. And it was so funny because, we're all struggling in sandals, or thongs, or not wearing nothing at all, even just those wetsuit booties. The kids that had the aqua shoes were easily walking around. It was hilarious. We're kind of jealous, actually. So, yeah, definitely invest in those. They're about, $20 or something at BCF. I think Kmart had some for $8. I don't know if they still sell them or not, but definitely invest in those if you're going along the river. Even just wearing them during the day in the grass, it's pretty good. It sort of protects their feet from rocks and sand as well. If you be conscious about that, protects the top of the feet so they don't get sunburnt on top, and stick on a lot better than that any thongs. So yeah, definitely invest in those if you're going along the river. It's more convenient, it's safer for your kids so they don't trip over and hurt themselves. I definitely saw a great outcome of it, so get on it and do that. Definitely see it. Number 4, probably said this before, but I'll say it again if I haven't, is I actually planned a menu with the kids, and we actually did the shopping the day of the actual trip. So I was pretty busy with work and picking up the kids, and we had swimming. We had a few activities, and I had no time to actually do shopping for the trip. So we left a little bit earlier the Friday and actually went straight to the butcher, and they chose the meat they want, and they chose what they wanted from the supermarket. And I also did the essential shopping. Um, I've never done that before. I've never actually did it with the kids. It was a positive because a lot more things were fresher on the mind, and we just literally put shit in the car and left. Would say negative, but the challenge was the kids were so antsy to go. Like, can we go now? Can we go now? Can we go now? And trying to do that while you're trying to remember things on the list and things you forgot on the list, it does create a bit of a, just shut up, we're going in a minute, don't worry. So probably wouldn't do that again. Probably just get a few things that will keep the kids happy, maybe shopping prior to the trip. But circumstances being, we're all not everyone's got time to do it before or the weekend before. Some things need to be done, especially butcher stuff. I love getting it fresh and ready to go. So yeah, doing it on the day was interesting, but it was a fun experience because they were just so antsy. They knew what they wanted, and I guess me rushing around aisle to aisle to get things, they knew what was on the mission and the things they wanted to catch. We packed more snacks, we packed more. They remembered things that I've nearly forgot, and we packed it and just put it straight in the box, and straight away we left. So definitely a bit of fun, bit of a challenge, but I don't know, give it a try. One day you never know. So yeah, that was pretty funny actually. My last one is it's probably a little bit deep, but get engaged when you go camping with your kids. I admittedly sometimes get caught up in the packing, the setting up, the cooking, doing it, doing a lot of the jobs while the kids go play, give me 5 minutes. But this trip I actually really, in the last few trips, I've actually really engaged and see what your kids actually do and say and act in a peaceful environment away from, the home, the school, the general day to day. They need a break from the day to day. I hear people say, routine's good for kids, which 100% it is great for kids. I agree. I have regimented my routine with my kids with sleep, school, reading, bedtime. They need it, but they also need a break from it and a bit of routine while you're away. Helping clean up after camping dishes. My kids prepared their lunch. I taught them how to make 2-minute noodles. The only thing I did was pour the water. They did everything else. They even put the rubbish in the bin. They put stuff in the dishes. They cleaned the dishes. They asked if they can do anything else, and they still asked if they can leave the table. Even though we're sitting on the camp chairs, they still asked if they can leave the table. So the things that we taught at home is actually happening on holiday with 1,000,001 distractions. But it really, I believe the distractions at home versus distractions when you're away with your friends, it's all evened out, but it's just regulated in a different way. Watching my kids last year, they were a bit scared to go in the water. This time they're dunking themselves in, they're running, swimming, they're having a great time. And, admittedly, I was probably a little bit edgy on them doing it, but in the end of the day, they were safe and they were happy and they knew what to do. They were completely safe. They were in knee-high water. But, as a parent, you still, haven't done that yet. And then all of a sudden they're doing it all day. It's great. But what I really did this time was actually, watching their mannerisms, sitting with them, asking them questions about, at home, school and everything. And, the answers you get are different to, when they're in the regular environment. So, yeah, I really engaged with them this time and, engaged how they were interacting with other kids at different times of the day, particularly the times when you think they're really tired and ready. For some reason, they stop, asking really deep questions and doing different things that, just enjoying the moment, enjoying life. And I know when they get older, they'll talk about the trips because they already talk about the trips that we did when they were really young. They still remember things from years ago that it makes they remind you about it. And it's funny because, they're 7, they're going to be 8, they're going to be 18 soon. Like 50% of their life from 0 to 18 are with their mum and dad or parents or whoever. And then after that, it diminishes because obviously they're 18. They want to go out. They want to party. They want to do things. I, I believe the work you do with your kids now to when they're 18, my goal is my kids to say to me, "Hey, Dad, we're going camping. You want to come?" Or, I don't know. You never know what could happen. But I guess that's my aim with the kids is I want to go camping with them when they get older. I want them, to be able to say to them, "Hey, Dad's going away. Do you want to come?" Or even if it's not camping, anything. Even going to the pub, even going to the beach. I think our generation as parents, me being 40, and the kids being seven, nearly, and other kids, I think we're that generation where will be we'll be the daggy parents, but with the daggy parents that our kids want to hang out with. And I think engaging in them in these moments when you're with them solo or with them with your friends and their friends, you learn a lot, and what you learn there, you bring home, and grow on that, because I don't want to be one of those parents that culture of, oh, they're 18, let's get out the door and live our lives. I think it's absolute bullshit sometimes. It'd be great for them to be independent, but at the same time, you want to hang out with them and do different things, because what they learn from 0 to 18 and what they do from 18 onwards, they got to, we all made mistakes. We all learn from different aspects of good and bad, but, I want to be on that journey with them when they get older. And I think planting that seed of doing what we do now and moving forward is going to make great memories. So take a breath, slow down. The setup can take a bit longer than it should. I found watching the kids when they turned up, sort of analysing everybody and everything around them for about 15 minutes, sort of looking around, like sure they could just jump around in the car, get on their bike and play with their friends straight away. But it's sort of like they analysed everything, and I was just looking at them, and it was really funny. It was like watching, these two kids just analysing. I'm going, "Hey guys, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Dad, no, we're just checking our surroundings, see what we want to do first, making a plan in our head." And I'm like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome, guys." And instead of rapidly setting up the tent as I normally do and getting everything done, I actually sort of watched them for a bit longer and asked them more questions and slowed down and actually engaged in it, and I actually wrote down some of the stuff that I was saying, because it was pretty cool. And I'll keep that to myself, because I don't think you'll understand, but just take some advice, slow down, have a look at what they do. So what if I've missed something? Tell me what have you guys seen from camping with your kids? What have you analysed? What have you learnt over the time that you could add to this? I'd love to hear from you guys. So reply on Spotify, email info@gettingouthere.net.au. My Instagram page is at getting out there with an underscore. Couldn't get getting out there, someone else took it, the bastards. And like and follow my podcast. So I look forward to the next one. It will be on a regular time. Sorry about the delay, but holiday had to be had, content had to be thought of, and now it's out to you guys. So I appreciate everything. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to the next one. Have a good day or night wherever you are in the world. Thank you.